Hello, this is Mira, and today's Master Consultant topic is going to be the second part of mastering your appointments, which is booking and coaching your appointments to hold. So, whether you're doing this online, virtually, in person, the same principles apply when you're talking about booking your appointments. Booking is critical to a salesperson's business. When you're out of bookings, you're out of business. Now, a lot of people think that if you haven't sold a certain amount of things, you're, out of business or at a standstill in your business. But our business is not just selling product. We want to have a relationship with our customers because relationships sell more than single contact, one-off type sales online or at a show or something like that. So Mary Kay built that into our marketing plan that we are going to book appointments, sell product, book a follow-up, and share the marketing plan. That's how we row. So you have seen the Keo Stark video on how to talk to strangers, on why you should talk to strangers. And there are a ton of other videos on YouTube. I got busted last week by YouTube for streaming the video during my presentation. So I'm going to leave you to go and find that. If you have not watched a TED Talk by Keo Stark on why you should talk to strangers, or one of the many other ones that are on that topic, pause here now, go to YouTube under TED Talks and type in why you should talk to strangers so that you can have a little bit of context for where I'm coming from. Okay. The other thing I'm going to draw your attention to, and I will post in the group and is on our Master Consultant list, is a YouTube video by a colleague of mine who I have not met, but who came up with something genius called a 21-day booking challenge. And this particular video is giving some great ideas for some pre-made scripts, for some organizational things to keep your leads organized, and a philosophy for how you should approach your bookings in order to maximize follow-up without getting into the zone of pushy. And it's really all about organization. I will say that I don't do quite as in-depth of an organizational system as she does, but what I like that she has presented is the idea that when you have leads, which we just learned about leads generation last week, when you have leads, when you have people that you should call, that you want to be calling them and you want to keep up with them and be persistent, but you don't want to be too pushy. So she helps you get organized so that you can keep that straight in your mind. Because the number one thing that happens for me is I will go to a show or I'll go to a party or I'll just run into a whole lot of people in life. Like this last week, I have just run into a crazy amount of people who was like, oh my gosh, you do Mary Kay. Can I have your business card? And I think it's partly because I do have my ideal customer avatar in my head. And so I'm projecting that energy all the time. So in fact, I got my new glasses that finally work for my prescription, and they have the blue light thing on it, which is really important. I think that my problem has been that I've been wearing glasses without blue light, and I've been working on the computer and doing videos without glasses or contacts. So that has decreased my eye thing. But both the woman at the optical shop and the woman at the doctor's office, I said, oh, I manage a sales team for Mary Kay. And they're like, do you have a card? Do you have a thing? And of course I don't have cards right now, but I do have my my QR code that Beverly helped me make, and I had them scan that, which took them right to my website on their phones. And so they're open and they're able to contact me. So that's a fun way to be able to generate leads when you're out and about, is by having conversations with people. But the booking part is the next part. So, perfect example of this. When I was a newer director and when I was a consultant, at the beginning of every month, because my journey went really fast. I wasn't just a consultant for very long. I became a red jacket, and I quickly realized that if I would hurry up and get going, I could take this little bit of momentum that I got and I could take it into car production before my teammates had left the business, basically, because they do. People come and go. Some people come and go as fast as 6 months. Some people are 6 years. Some people are 60 years. You never know who's going to be which. But I was always looking to have 10, preferably parties, but 10 appointments on my books at any point in a 2-week time period. And so in order to do that, I would, at the beginning of the month, I would brainstorm all the people that I knew, and I would make a big long list. In fact, I found one of my journals from early on in my career, and I remember actually writing this list. I remember, that I was driving home from somewhere, and I would pull over periodically, and I would write names down on my list, and then I would get back on the highway, and I would keep going. And I would brainstorm, I would write as many as 60 names down on the list, and I know I would call the first 20, always. And usually out of those first 20, probably 5 or 10 people would call me back or would answer the phone, and out of those, I could book 4 or 5. And then I would book from those more appointments, or I would have other people contact me or something like that. And I never did get down past 20, maybe 30, sometimes 40. And I only called back probably the first 10 or 15 if they hadn't called me. So it was really inefficient because there were all these people at the bottom who might have been better quality. At that point, I was doing a fish in a barrel approach. I was just trying to shoot as many leads as I could get. Quality, psychographics, demographics, those are not things I was really taking into consideration at that point. So what I like about the 21-day booking challenge video that you're going to watch is that she really talks about how to keep it organized. And ever since I watched her video 5 years ago, because, to be honest, I would continue to do versions of that. Maybe I'd be a little bit more organized. Maybe I would kind of come back to people. But, once I got my 10 appointments booked, basically everybody else on that list, I just was not worried about them. I would come back to them when it suited me, which, partly is okay, but it's partly a problem because what if they had been really excited and you just didn't keep following? Like they did call or text you back and you're like, yeah, sounds great, let's book it, but you never got back around. You don't have a system for that built in, and then you get to the end of the month and you need 1 or 2 more, and then I'm trying to really quick hurry and book them. Oh, can you do it by Friday? And they really can't. They could have done it on Friday if I would have got back to them a week ago and booked it ahead of time. So Mary's system is telling you to break up your leads in groups of 10 and to process them in groups of 10 and to use a notebook or you can, create a note somewhere in your computer. I still really love writing things down and carrying around a little notebook. I'm such a child of the new millennium in that way. So I'll never get tired of pen and paper. So the note system helps to keep it so you do call, text, call, text, call until they either say no, or they say yes, or they say call me later. And then you can reorganize all of those things. Now she's got a really sophisticated color-coded system that my sweet little I personality brain just is not following, but I can see how it could be beneficial to somebody who needs more organization. So that's another one I'm going to have you check out is the 21-day booking challenge video, and that's on YouTube. And her first name is Mary. And it's an old school video. I think it was made in 2014. And so you can more listen to it. You don't really even have to watch it. You can more listen to that one and take notes. Okay, so booking. And of course, it's not all in-person bookings anymore. So that's interesting. So we have some new ways. I think really the organizational system is the thing that is most helpful for what we're doing right now, where you have really a variety of ways to get in touch with people. And so I feel like that's really something that you want to put in place. But here's some booking approaches, and we're going to talk about scripts and things like that. You can Google Mary Kay booking scripts all day long, but I'm going to teach you basically how to create your own because it's essentially a formula. So, booking approaches. My favorite one is the tentative booking approach. And this has also helped me in my family life because everyone in my family wants to do really fun, cool group things. No one will make a commitment. And in fact, my stepmom always says that our family has huge expectations that are never communicated unless you're extremely disappointed with another person. So, the tentative booking approach is like what I did with my friend Louise yesterday. She came over for some product, and Louise has been my customer for 4 or 5 years. She's never hosted a party. She's not real tech savvy, but she has become somewhat tech savvy. She's in her 60s. She's become somewhat tech savvy because she wants to keep in touch with people she loves who live far away. So, the tentative booking approach is, okay, so Louise, why don't we do this? It sounds like you would really like to have a party. Let's tentatively pick November 15th, which is the date that Louise picked for her. She's going to do a video chat bingo with her sorority sisters. And that's how they want to do it, so that they can be together live. I cannot wait. This is going to be amazing. There's going to be like 15, 60 to 70-year-old ladies on this video chat. It should be hysterical. So, Louise, let's say tentatively that we're going to book for the 15th. I will get everything ready. I will get you a Zoom number, and I will build you an event on Facebook and on my website. And then if something comes up, we can just let each other know. If something comes up for me, we can let each other know in a couple of days if that will work. How does that sound to you? And you can see how that's really helpful when you're also dealing with other things, because people say, well, when do you want to get to? Well, I don't know. What's best for you? What's best for you? Okay, how about this? Let's pick this as a tentative date, and then go home and look at your calendars, talk to your husbands, whatever. And if it doesn't work, let's talk some more. Let's keep the conversation going and pick another time. Okay? Tentative booking about 60% of the time does work. And most people, when they say they need to check their calendar and they need to talk to their husband, they do. But if you have something specific in mind already, it's much easier to check with that. Otherwise, they go home and they're like, well, I want to do a Mary Kay party. Well, when is it going to be? Well, I don't know. We haven't picked a date yet. Well, what do you think? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know what I think because we haven't gotten there yet. And especially with their girlfriends, this is how it goes. If you don't have a tentative date and they say they want to do a Mary Kay party, but they want to talk to their girlfriends, this is how the conversation is going to go. Oh, well, that sounds like fun. Well, what do you think? Well, I don't know. When are you free? Well, let me check my calendar. So we've got then 16 people checking their calendars and talking to their husbands about a possible Mary Kay party, a possible thing that might or might not happen. So by you taking, I know that this may feel very uncomfortable for those of you who are not used to, hang on, I gotta turn this table up a little bit. If you're not used to taking the lead in this type of a setting, this is going to feel very uncomfortable for you. I am a dominant personality, and I'm usually the person in my family that ends up making the decisions anyway, because everybody else is like, well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Blah, blah, blah. I want to do this. But in fact, our family vacation in December was, I took myself out of it for the first 2/3 of planning that, and I could tell how irritated everybody was that I didn't just tell them what to do. Then they go and complain that I'm bossy, but they really do love it when I tell them what's happening. So the tentative booking approach is a great one to use. The next one is something that I like to call the yes and yes approach. So one of the classic Mary Kay and salespeople training, my glasses are itching me right here. Sorry. The classic approaches is to tell them what the next 2 appointments in your date book are. And it goes like this. So you say, I'd love to have you as a hostess. And they say, okay, that'd be great. Well, when were you thinking? And you say, well, I have Tuesday. Would you like Tuesday or Thursday? 5:30 or 7? Blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. So you're giving them 2 choices. Well, here's the problem. What if soccer is on Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30? There's no way they're getting back by 7 and having a party ready to go for you to make that happen, because they got to do dinner. They got to do all those things. So instead of then possibly losing them, you say, well, my next opening is Tuesday or Thursday at 5:30 or 7, but what would be better for you? And by doing that, you give them the opportunity to say, to let you know if they have an objection to that. You say, my next opening is this. So they know that your next opening is this, that you'd really like to get that filled, but you do care about what's better for them. And that's important. You need to communicate your care for people and for what's going on in their lives, because we're trying to build relationships, not just sell product. Okay. Let's see, yes or yes. Okay, so scripts. Scripting is very important because booking is basically a performance activity. And in the 21-day booking challenge video that I just talked to you about, in her description, she's got a ton of pre-done scripts that would be really great for you to use if you are newer to this. So let me talk about the recipe for a great script. First and foremost, the impetus for the contact, the opportunity for a client or a prospect, problem solving, which is overcoming objections, asking questions, making a plan. All right, so the impetus for the contact is whatever contest you're in, whatever your goals are, whatever new product launch that you're excited about or that you're promoting at my suggestion, that's the impetus for the contact. So you're going to say, hey, Becky. Well, this is not even the phone. It's really this, or it's really like, okay, so you're going to say, hi, Becky. This is Mira, your Mary Kay consultant. I wanted to call you about blah. I wanted to call you about the new Mary Kay app that just launched. I'd love to have you download it and give me your opinion. And she says, yeah, that's great. Okay, great. So once you get I'm going to have a product gift for you once you download this and give me your opinion. And I'd love to get together with you, because one of the features is that it has a wish list on there that you can share with me. I'd love to get together with you and let you try some of the things on your wish list. And if you could invite a few friends and have them download the app as well, we could get together as a group, as a small group, and I could give you some stuff for free or for a discount. How does that sound? So now I know that it's COVID and you may not be comfortable getting together in person. So I have some other options for virtual or on-demand parties. And I just wonder if you'd be willing to do that with me this week. And then I'm going to overcome her objections, which is, we're going to go over the basic objections. It's usually time, money, don't like salespeople. We'll go through all of the objections. There are four main ones. Okay, so then you're going to ask questions. She's going to ask you questions. You're going to answer the questions, and you're going to ask questions back, especially if she feels she'd like to do it. It seems good to her, but she's a little hesitant. Then you're going to ask questions to find out what the hesitation is, because people are not always super comfortable jumping right into something like that. They've been to parties. Maybe they had a bad experience with a party in the past. Maybe not even you. Maybe they've just heard that people don't like parties. And I think direct sales is experiencing a real renaissance right now. We've never had a more golden opportunity and a more golden reputation, because traditional brick and mortar stores and chains are closing all over the place and they're having supply chain problems. So they don't have as much stuff available to them as we do, because we only deal with one product line. Okay, so, and then after you ask the questions, you're going to make a plan. Now, objections. This is where I'm going to share my screen with you, And there's a page called it's an Overcoming Objections PDF. I will make sure it's posted on our new website and that it's in our group. So here are the overcoming objections for booking. I'm too busy. I use brand X. I tried Mary Kay and it broke me out, or I'm allergic, and I don't wear makeup. And on this page, there's some very traditional responses for the objections. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that this still works, even though it's dated feeling. So even I'm too busy. I know exactly what you mean. Life seems to be flying by. Do you ever feel like you need a little personal pampering time? How about inviting 2 or 3 of your buddies for a 1-hour spa session? I would love to do that with you. The I'm too busy objection is usually about she doesn't want you at her house all evening. And I completely understand that because I really don't like to be at people's houses all evening. And some people don't really realize that. Okay, so the next one, I use brand X. And I hope you guys can see. Let me make sure that you can see this really well. This is the preview area. I use brand X. Okay, so I use Rodan and Fields. I use a dermatologist brand. I use Clinique. I use Estee Lauder. That's great. It's obvious that you're investing time and money in your skincare. Do you feel like you're getting the results you want for the price you're paying? I'd love to take 45 minutes to show you. This is the #1 brand in the U.S. I think this is really dated. This is from the early 2000s. I'd love to show you one of the top selling brands in the U.S. and get your opinion. And I don't now always say I can share with you how much money I can save you, because there are product lines that people are loyal to that are not cheaper than Mary Kay. But I will say to them, I'd love to let you try it and see if I can win your business. And that's one of the favorite things I say that makes me feel like I care about them. I want to see what they think of our brand and go on from there. Okay, so I don't wear makeup. Hey, that's perfect. Did you know Mary Kay is one of the leading developers of basic skincare products? And this could be like, well, I don't do anti-aging. I'm not really concerned with all that. The basic skincare products. I'd love to get your opinion of our skincare's basics, and we won't even mess with the glamour. And then there's I tried Mary Kay and it broke me out. Okay, I'm so sorry. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of a problem did you have? Was it an allergic reaction? Did your consultant work with you? Were you able to take advantage of the money back guarantee? So with this, what I will say is that the legal department has asked us not to exchange products that we didn't sell to the client. If they have products that were not given to the from us to the person, that we direct them to 1-800-MARY-KAY so that they can exchange it directly with the company. And the reason why is that we have people who are buying product from illegal Amazon sellers, and the serial numbers that are on the bottom of the product help the company know where those illegal sellers are getting their product from, or if you're possibly dealing with an illegal seller. So it is a federal crime. It's a trademark violation to sell product on Amazon or eBay or on Facebook Marketplace. Even if you're not a beauty consultant anymore, it's still in our contract, and the company can and will prosecute you for that. I actually met somebody at a Mary Kay party who's like, yeah, I went to jail for a trademark violation, but I really love the product. That was awkward. I'm not going to lie. I still know her. She's still around, but it's true. They really do that. So, but you can still give her a consultation, put her in touch with the company, and help her get her money back, do the money back guarantee for that. And she will love you forever. And even if she doesn't end up booking with you, you bringing those things up to her will really say a lot about you as a person. All right, so we did overcoming objections. One of the things that's really important is as you are overcoming objections, you're not using these as comebacks. Overcoming objections is essentially, you're essentially going to coach people on what to expect from the appointment. And coaching your appointment is nothing more than overcoming the objections before they come up and telling your client, hostess, or prospective team member exactly what they can expect from you and what you expect from them. Now, you need to have boundaries in your bookings because when you are really nice and you care about people, there are people who, because of their personality or because of the way that they were socialized, they feel like they have to manipulate you just because they can. And it's not always intentional. It's not always with evil malice. Some people don't even know that they do it. But don't be run by other people's whims. Stick to what feels good for you. So if you have somebody who you want to book with and you don't work Sundays, and she's like, oh, well, my friends, they're only available on Sunday. They're only available on Sunday. Don't say yes if you don't really want to, no matter what. If you need to have that day off, don't say yes to that. I only work Sundays if there's a reason why I can't get together on another weekend day. If there's going to be other days that I'm going to take off to make up for the Sunday that I'm missing. So for instance, this week, today is Wednesday, October the 20th, 2021. And tomorrow, my family and I are going to go to the hot springs, the Fairmont Hot Springs in Montana, in Butte, Montana, for a long weekend because it's the kids' fall break. So I worked already on the Sunday. I did a facial and I did some follow-up things because I had a really busy week of in-person appointments and a lot of sales, which was great. And I'm starting to make my Christmas basket. So I worked on Sunday in order to accommodate somebody who, whose main days are Saturday or Sunday. And my Saturdays were already really booked. So I wanted to get together. So I went ahead and honored that for her on a Sunday. Now, will I work the following Sunday when I get back? No, probably not. Well, I'll be traveling on the 24th, but I will not work on Halloween, partly because it's going to be a family day and it's a Sunday and I'm going to need my rest coming back from a trip and doing month-end stuff. So, coaching that's, I think, I don't know if I got everything I wanted in there about that, but let me talk to you a little bit about coaching systems. One of the things that I use and I have started using again is a hostess coaching flyer, and it has on a page, it has the space for the name. Basically, you can collect all the information that you need on that page. I, old school, still print them out, still fill everything in, keep them in my folder thing that I have on my desk that has all my important stuff in it, where I take my notes and stuff like that. And you can keep track of sales. That's going to help you, especially as you're learning how to work with hostesses to get your maximum results. That's going to help you know what you need to do next. Now, I don't do that very much anymore because the bookings are coming a lot. It used to be one of those, like, you planned everything for 10 to 14 days in advance. Now it feels like the better bookings are the ones that are on the fly, that are just like, okay, well, let's do it on Wednesday, on a Sunday or on a Monday or on the previous Saturday. You really only need 3 to 5 days because it's almost like people don't want to book too much farther in advance because we don't know, especially for in-person, we don't know what's happening in the world. We are still, everything is wrapping up in a way, but there's still a little bit of fear and of caution going into the winter time, and it's just busyness. So especially for virtual and and on-demand parties, you really don't need a lot of time to prep that. So one of the things I will encourage you to do for group appointments, no matter which they are, is start using your Beauty Evite party planner to get the hostess engaged with your website. If you don't have a personal website with shopping, you need to do that. And there's the new Mary Kay app that customers can use to be connected with you even faster and more conveniently. You're going to want to check that out and make sure you're using that as well. In the past, I've had a hostess packet with an email and paper invitations and the whole 9 yards. We don't have to do as much of that anymore if you're using Beauty Evite, if you're using Facebook events. But you can also do a hostess coaching video that's really easy, and you want to keep it to 7 minutes or less, where you tell people what they can expect from you and what you can expect from them. I will post mine with this recording so that you have that available to watch. I just re-recorded it in July, and they need to be redone about every year or two because of what's different in the company. And okay, so we talked about objections, and I'm going to see if I've got anything else. Okay, we've got, and that is pretty much everything I have for you about booking. Your homework for this week is to book 10 appointments to be held in a 2-week time period, whether that is video chat, in person, virtual parties, on-demand parties. And the difference between virtual and on-demand is a virtual party is where you have a time, date, and place, place meaning Zoom or whatever, to meet. On-demand parties are where they're using your website and the virtual and tools through Mary Kay or the videos that I shot for makeup or skincare or whatever videos you want to use for that. And also a Facebook post party could kind of count in that. So 10 appointments to be held in a 2-week period. I don't care if it's a 2 weeks starting tomorrow or 2 weeks starting 2 weeks from now. I want you to book those 10 appointments to be held in that time period, because the next segments that we're going to talk about are sharing the opportunity, sales, professional sales follow-up, the art of selling, and business systems and time management. And you're going to need to have some people to work with in order to do the homework for those parts. So thanks for playing along. I can't wait to see what this does for you. And bye for now.